this is Arunava Chaudhuri and you are on my YouTube channel Arunfoot. I would like to continue my series in regard to the ISL League season 2024-2025 and how the respective clubs did in the league. I've spoken about Mohammedan Sporting, Hyderabad FC, Chennai FC and Punjab FC, and today I would like to continue that series with Kolkata Giants East Bengal FC. It wasn't the campaign that the red and gold would have liked to have, and I remember that I had said in the summer East Bengal looked to have a good first 11, but the bench looks weak and the question is if this team would really gel or could gel. And I also had questions in regard to Candid Football, and sadly most of these questions or most of these points came true. As I said, East Bengal had a good first 11, but somehow the other, first Candid Football and also then Oscar Bruzon, even though they had a high under Oscar, but they never got them working in a way that you would think, you know what, this is a top 6 team. And going back into the summer, there were a lot of good signings, you would say. Mahdi Talal, the best creative playmaker of the ISL last season, signed. Diamantakos, the seasoned striker at the Kerala Blasters, was signed. Jigson Singh was brought in also for a lot of money from the Kerala Blasters. Provat Lakra brought in from Jamshedpur FC. And it goes on and on and on, where you think, you know what, you brought in Devjit Mujumdar as an experienced second goalkeeper, and Mark Zoe as a young and upcoming defender. It looked good overall. But yeah, the Durand Cup didn't end well for East Bengal. 4 losses at the start of the season in a row, and Candid Football was history. A lot of money was spent, and especially one episode comes to mind, and that is that of Anwar Ali. I still think that the way East Bengal poached the player, got the player, is wrong, was wrong, is wrong, not only just from a moral standpoint, but just from a football standpoint. And again, a different topic, and we'll discuss it. We've discussed it a lot. Look at the old videos. There's a lot to be spoken about. Oscar came in. East Bengal were successful in the AFC Challenge League to get out of the group stage into knockouts. And that positive vibe then continued in the ISL, where East Bengal got 14 points out of 6 matches, out of 7 matches. And you thought, who knows, maybe Oscar can get something better out of this team. Oscar Bruzon came in, and knowing Oscar a little bit, I thought, yes, he's the right man for this moment, and let's see what he can build with this team. Can he create something with this team? And as always, this isn't easy, but he did. But then came the problems that are part and parcel of the Indian Super League, and that's what I've said now for a few years. You have to factor in injuries. You have to factor in cards. East Bengal were getting red cards left, right and center. I know that the club protested about a lot of them, and where I thought, guys, what are you protesting about? I think you should have a word with the players. And my favorite example is Alcho Nunga, who was picking up more red cards than other people collect appearances in matches. And that was a problem throughout the campaign. East Bengal, sometimes you thought, are getting closer to the top 6. Got into 7th, 8th spot, not 7th, but 8th spot, and then thought, maybe. But they couldn't keep it together. Serious injuries to Mahdi Talal, Hijaji Maher, to other players on and off. The issue of, are they going to be bringing in players in the winter? Even Captain Sal Crespo was injured. They brought in Rafael Mesiboli, who towards the end of the campaign did make a positive impact, but overall the package wasn't working. And that's, I think, hopefully the biggest learning for East Bengal FC, that just signing big names and not checking if these players can actually play together, if they really can work together, is going to be a big thing. A player who also came in the summer, was a late signing, but I thought, did okay, was Hector Yuste. Won the ISL League Shield last season with Mohun Bagan. Of course, he was 1 year older and a little slower, but Hector Yuste is a player who has game sense and other understanding, but with the right defender next to him, he could play his class, and that was not always possible, and he did get exposed on the one or the other occasion. And that, of course, sums up for me the season, that a lot of injuries to key players, up and down performances from key players. The young players didn't really step up. The exception most probably would be PV Vishnu, but even he fizzled out towards the end of the campaign. And East Bengal spent a lot of money, to say, oh, you know what, the referees are against us. Oh, we don't have the budgets to play or to compete in the ISL. I think East Bengal needs to look inward, needs to introspect, something which the club has not been doing for a long, long time, because only then when you realize there are certain things that you need to change, otherwise you're not going to get to the level that you think, that you believe you could, should, and need to play. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree with me? Do you have any different viewpoints on what I just mentioned? As always, write them down in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe Arunfoot here on YouTube. Visit my other social medias. Visit arunfoot.com. And I'll be back very soon. Arunava Chaudhuri signing off. Bye for now.